Appreciate it, appreciate it. This is the Chairman's Corner, a vantage point for gaining perspective. On this show, we will be having conversations with people who deliberately shape their worlds. Success is rarely by accident. So, we seek to see how the hand of fate has created these exceptional individuals. So who are the people mapping the way to become the players in the game of life? The disruptors and the trailblazers. From the Chairman's Corner, let's ask some questions. Today, we will be joined by Kevin Wang'ombe, also known as the Raww Filmmaker. He's a child of the universe, a filmmaker, a music enthusiast, and most importantly, a lover of life. Welcome. Good morning and welcome to the Chairman's Corner. My name is George and I'll be joined by Kevin Wang'ombe.
Yeah, thanks George. Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it, appreciate it. So would you like to tell me what you had for breakfast today?
Interesting. I think coffee and pancakes.
Coffee and
Staple
pancakes.
in my house. So
Would you say that's your usual routine, like when you wake up?
most of the time, or just coffee. Some days are too busy.
Okay. Could you just walk me through like just a day in your week?
From Monday, I start off like with my schedule to see what edits I have to do, what shoots I have to do, and then from there I just move on with the schedule.
Okay, shoots, edits. Now that we're here, could you tell me about your field of work? Like, what do you do?
Okay, I am a filmmaker, primarily a music video editor, director, and documentary filmmaker. Yeah. All in all, just a filmmaker.
Where do you think you got this spirit to enter into film? Was it always something you had?
I think I've always been interested in images and moving images particularly. And from a very young age, I was playing around with cameras, and I think that's where it all started from skateboarding videos actually. That's where I started making films.
Okay, do you skateboard?
I don't skate anymore, but I think if I got on a board, I'd still be able to do it.
Okay, fantastic. I guess being in your industry, you have to be very entrepreneurial.
Yeah.
Where do you think you got the spirit? Is it like from your family, from your friends?
I think it came from just being raised by a lot of women. My aunties and my mom have always been able to start their own businesses and are still doing very well. So I think from their resourcefulness as women, which they usually are, that's probably where I got the chops from.
Oh, okay. Okay, now put yourself into the perspective of someone watching your life, yeah? What quote or metaphor would you use to best describe your life's work?
Okay, I think everything that you can imagine is real. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
That's Picasso.
Deep.
Yeah.
That's deep. Could you tell me how your work, affects people's lives, in terms of the things they see you do?
For me, I'd say like the most people affected by my work are the artists that I work with, and that just helps them change their perspective on the music they make and how the music can be delivered visually. Yeah.
Okay. Looking at your past achievements, all the projects you've been involved in, is there one or two that you could really pin out and say like, yo, this is my mantle? Like, I really like this. I know you're probably yet to hit your peak.
Definitely.
But just from your past experiences.
I think my number one achievement would be editing a feature film called Lusala. That was the first time I've ever edited any movie.
Could you tell me a bit about this film?
Lusala basically is a film about mental health and mental health in Kenya, and how families in Kenya really sweep the mental issues under the rug. And for a long time it starts to manifest and fester into something that's usually mostly detrimental. So it was really interesting working on that film, you know, because there's a big issue with mental health in Kenya specifically.
Yeah.
Sasa uko nyumbani, kila kitu kitakuwa sawa. When you were brought to us as a little child, we didn't know what to expect. But now, we're so proud to call you one of our own. To Lusala?
To Lusala.
Sisi kama wazazi wako tumekuwa na discussion kidogo. Utafute mali uishi, uanze maisha.
You will be fine.
Ango, kwani kuna kitu nimedu?
Are you okay?
I'm okay.
Kumbuka Lusala.
Niko tayari. Kila kitu kitakuwa sawa.
You're not throwing him out. You're letting him be.
Why don't you just tell everyone why you kicked Lusala out?
We are family. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
That's heavy. How did you get that opportunity? Did you
I applied for a workshop by One Fine Day and Ginger Inc. I think the guys who made Nairobi Half-Life.
Yes.
So I applied for their workshop and I got in thanks to the help of my friend Jenny, skinny filmmaker. I don't know if you know her, but
I've seen some of her work.
Yeah, she really helped me get into that space, and it was great.
Awesome. What do you see the future like in your field of work, whether it's personal to you or just the industry in general?
I think there's hope now that Ezekiel Mutua is out of the picture. But jokes aside, I think there's a very big opportunity for us to create films that resonate with the rest of Africa, and the talent is just immense in Kenya. So I think we're looking at a good place for sure.
Okay. Do you have certain partnerships or networks that you really decide to invest in, and how do you approach those things?
Yeah, I think I've really invested a lot of my time in the music industry and also in small NGOs. This is really where I use my money to fund this other stuff that I do.
Okay. And if you're to say, the first lesson you learned working in this, industry, it could be a positive or negative lesson. What would you be?
Nobody cares about your work unless you work hard for it.
Real talk. Your work should speak for itself.
Your work should speak for you. Nobody just cares because you make films or because you do this. Work hard and really create stories that create or invoke emotion. That's the
bottom line.
Yeah, that's the bottom line.
Now, I guess when you want to work in certain projects, especially if it's a passion project, how do you approach, handling people to fund you?
Yeah. I think the first thing you do is story is king. So in any type of situation, if you have a good story and you can sell that, I think most investors are interested in what kind of value is created from that. So that's how I usually approach most of the things that I do.
Okay. Now we're gonna switch it up a bit.
Okay.
Tell us something surprising about you, that not many people would ordinarily know.
Surprising.
Yeah.
Wow. I started off as a musician.
Yes.
As a skateboarder.
Okay.
Not a lot of people know this about me. This is probably why I'm even in the music industry.
What was your stage name or your?
My stage name is West Prodigy.
West Prodigy.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm still back in the studio, so yeah, look out for that.
Look out for some more work.
Yeah.
Awesome. Now let's talk about your beliefs.
Yeah.
Is there something you believe to be true that not everyone necessarily sits on the same page with you on?
I think you don't have to achieve anything in life to have value in your humanness. I think a lot of the time we are always pushed to do this and do this to be human, but I think there's
especially the pressure to succeed,
yes,
the pressure to have a job, or all these other things that are meant to fill
and make you supposedly have value in the world. I don't think you have to achieve anything. Just be and live.
Okay. If you could talk to one person from the past or the future, or even just like a fictional character, who would it be and why?
I think it would be a filmmaker called Akira Kurosawa.
Okay.
He's long dead right now, but he's been a big inspiration not only to me but to filmmakers like Spielberg, and he was one of the greatest filmmakers that have ever lived. I would just like to sit down with him for 5 minutes and just say, wow, where did you come up with this?
Well, what's one notable thing that he has done in terms of film? I'm not too conversant with his work.
I mean, if I would say it, I would look at it from Spielberg's work, and a lot of the shots that are seen in Spielberg's work, for example, the Wana, which is just a one shot, that is an Akira Kurosawa shot.
Like from start finish.
Exactly.
It's in 1917 did that?
Yeah, 1917 did that. A lot of films have achieved that
one shot look.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you're in the field, you're trying to look for the next project. How do you go about hunting talent? Because you also want to put on a good show for people.
Yeah.
And picking talent is key.
Yeah.
So how do you go about that? Like, what are the things you look for?
Nowadays, the first place I start is online, on Instagram. There's a lot of great work there, a lot of young, talented artists who don't really have an avenue.
Yeah.
So that's the first place I start. The second place I start is like actually being on set and like talking to the PA. People usually think these are small people, until you actually understand that their dreams and achievements, what they have in mind is way bigger than
and what they can bring to the table.
Exactly.
Okay. I'm taking you 10 years back. I know we're almost hitting the third floor.
Oh my God, don't remind me.
let's go like 10, 15 years back. What piece of advice or even just thing would you tell yourself, your younger self?
Believe in yourself more.
Yeah.
I think everybody needs to hear that. Believe in yourself more, because it starts from you.
It starts from you.
It starts from you.
I am the architect.
I'm the architect of my own life, for sure.
Okay. Man, it's been a tough 2 years now that COVID has hit us.
Yeah.
How has this affected your work?
In the beginning of this pandemic, it was really, really bad because you couldn't be on set, which was a very, very important part of our job.
Exactly.
But we've learned to adapt with it, and COVID-19 has taught us that we can be more resourceful than we've ever thought to be. You can edit remotely.
Yeah.
You can even shoot remotely. We've started creating new ways of creating cinema.
Content.
So I think COVID has done us an injustice, but a justice at the same time.
People are found a way to
expand
morph.
your mind. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Where do you see film in Africa in the next 10 years?
I think it's taking over the whole world.
Yeah.
In terms of music, in terms of art, in terms of film, just in art in general, it's gonna be the next big thing.
Awesome. Okay. I don't know what relationship you had with your previous boss, but if you could give them, a piece of advice or a piece of your mind, what would you tell them?
You should have never let this boy go.
I hope he's hearing. Oh, she's hearing.
Yeah, we could have achieved a lot more together.
I guess it's their loss. Okay. You watch a lot of film. I'm sure you read quite a few books.
Yeah.
Is there a fictional character that you think you identify with, and why?
At some points, I think it would be like Jack Sparrow.
Jack.
A little wildling here and there, but
wildling,
still has his
wits
and his wits about him. Yeah. I love Jack Sparrow.
Okay, that's an interesting take. Imagine you don't have to work because you have all the money like you could ever want.
Yeah.
What would you do with your time?
I would definitely try to start a family.
Yeah.
And take care of that family. I think if I had all the money in the world, I think family is the only thing that matters.
That's special. Okay. Do you have an unusual talent that you've never really told anyone about?
Oh wow, maybe I can like bend my fingers. I'm double jointed, so it's weird, but I guess some crazy stuff. But yeah, I think that's a weird talent to have.
Okay. Tell me about 3 films that you feel have influenced the way you handle your work.
Okay, my most 3 influential films have to be Requiem of a Dream, Clockwork Orange.
Okay.
And the last one, I'm really torn, but
You can say even 2 more. It's okay.
it would have to be maybe the Jurassic Park.
Like the whole series.
Yeah, because it was the first time I was a kid and I loved dinosaurs, and the way Spielberg did it was like amazing. So I think those are 3 of my most influential films and the way I see cinema.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is the last purchase that you made above 10K? And like what item or thing or experience was it?
I think it would have to be some digital assets that I purchased, just to help my editing workflows.
What kind of assets exactly?
Digital assets basically are like little
softwares.
So there are things that you use in your edits. So it could be anywhere from music to graphics to stock images. Like I just purchased some drone shots that run me a pretty penny, but they work for my job.
Okay, and this is the kind of asset that you can keep using again.
Yes, this is
so
kind
like
of
a one-off kind
No,
of.
you can use it in a variety
of ways.
Yeah.
Okay. We're nearing the end of our small discussion here, and now you're driving around Nairobi. We'll always see a lot of billboards, Safaricom, Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
You have a billboard all to yourself.
Yeah.
What message would you put on it?
Be you.
Boom.
Nothing else. Be you.
That's it.
That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I have a few questions here.
Okay.
Random questions.
Pick a box.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick a box.
Dive in.
Just dive in.
Okay. A penguin walks through that door right now wearing a tuxedo. What does he say and why is he here?
Go.
I'm icy.
That's fantastic.
I mean, damn. Yeah.
All right, Kevin, thank you so much for coming to the Chairman's Corner.
Thank you.
It's been a great time having you.
Yeah.
And I think, you've given people perspective into your life and your life's work.
Yeah.
And you've also just shared what it means to be you.
Yeah.
And that's what this show is about.
Fantastic.
I appreciate your time, and I'll see you guys next week.
Thank you for having me.
Like